Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Lyle, and this is NFL Weekly, the show where once a week, usually on Monday or Tuesday, I will recap the events from last week's action and talk about some of the things I'm looking forward to next week. So, the first thing I want to say before anything else, Odell fucking Beckham. God motherfucking damn. Motherfucker Jones. Woo! If you saw the game, you know what I'm talking about. Now on to business. The Raiders actually won a game this season, which is shocking, and the first win coming against the Chiefs, a team that might actually make the playoffs. I mean, look, the Raiders, yes, they're a horrible team this year, but they've got a lot of young talent and potential. And then, let's talk about another team, that one that used to suck, but now they're living up to some of the potential that people have said they have. You've got the Cleveland Browns, who, despite the fact that their starting QB Brian Hoyer threw 3 interceptions and not a single touchdown, somehow still managed to sneak away with a win by making a field goal with 5 seconds left. Oh my God, what the fuck happened to the Falcons? They used to be so good not that long ago, like last season not that long ago. They were a good team once, and now, goddamn, you're letting the Browns get a comeback win against you. And another comeback, the Broncos, they scored 22 points in the fourth quarter and able to get a win. And then, a few big wins. The Eagles destroyed the Titans, no shock. The Jags were destroyed by the Colts, as expected. New England destroyed the Lions, which I was a little surprised. Not that they lost, I just felt like it would be a smaller margin. I mean, the Lions have a pretty good defense, and they've got a lot of explosive playmaking talent on that offense. I just felt like they might actually compete. And looking at the playoff picture, something that I want to mention right now is that all 4 teams in the AFC North have 7 wins. The Bengals, thanks to an almost loss, are actually at the top with a 7-3-1 record, that one being a tie. And then the other 3 teams are all 7-4. And unfortunately, in the playoffs, you got the 4 division winners and 2 wild cards. So, best case scenario, you'll have 3 of these teams in the playoffs. Which means, they've still got matches against each other, so this is going to be a fight to the finish for this division. And here's the best news about that. I've got Antonio Brown from the Steelers, Justin Forsett from the Ravens, and Jeremy Hill from the Bengals, who are all on my fantasy team. So I know I can ride them throughout the fantasy playoffs because these teams are going to be fighting to the bitter finish. And now, some fantasy updates. Ben Tate was released by the Browns and picked up by the Vikings. I don't know how well he's going to do, but now that he's gone, Isaiah Crowell, I don't really know how to pronounce it. Everyone is saying it different. Anyway, Isaiah took over as the main back for the Cleveland Browns, and he came away with a 20-point game after getting 2 touchdowns. So, if you didn't grab him already, now might be a good time, because he looks like he's going to be the premier back from now on. And Jeremy Hill, running back for the Cincinnati Bengals, who I just mentioned he was owned by 87% of the league last week, 57% this week, and he had almost 16 points this week. So congratulations to all of those who were smart enough to hold on to him. Even with Giovanni back at full health, Hill is still a very usable weapon. He's still a very strong player. He's a strong start, especially in deeper leagues. He's going to get touches. And then C.J. Anderson had a 3rd straight week of double-digit points, finishing with 167 rushing yards and a touchdown. He's looking like he could be a prime back for years to come. Who knows? We'll see how the rest of the season turns out, but I'm really liking this kid. And I'm actually going to recommend something, because Marshawn Lynch, he's been battling through injuries for weeks, and they're on a short week going up against the 49ers defense, which isn't what it used to be. But it's still pretty scary. So he's on my team, and I've started him every single week. But some of those weeks, it hasn't necessarily led to a good outcome. And I'm starting to think, maybe, is he sit-worthy? Should I sit him this week? I picked up Forsett, Hill, and Anderson. and Shoelace. I've got a lot of halfbacks that I can use, so that's just me. I think I've got enough talent that I'd be willing to take the risk and bench him. Others of you might not have shit, in which case go ahead and start him with pride. I could just be playing it way too cautious. And then Thursday, a few games to look forward to this week. In case you didn't realize it, Thursday is Thanksgiving, which means the annual Thanksgiving Day games. The first one in the morning will be the Bears at the Lions. It's a division rivalry. The Bears haven't necessarily been shitty, but they haven't necessarily been winning either. One of the main reasons for their bad record is that they've had a tough schedule, and unfortunately they've also had to deal with the fact that Jay Cutler is their QB. But I think that the Lions could actually win a Thanksgiving Day game for once. And then you've got the Eagles at the Cowboys, a division rivalry. They're battling for the top spot right now. There's a good chance that both of them could be in the playoffs, or there's a chance that only the winner will be in the playoffs. This game could mean a lot to their record. So, and you've got, these teams are actually built very similar, despite the fact that they have such different playing styles. I mean, you've got two QBs still trying to prove that they can be called elite. You've got Pro Bowl running backs on each side, a talented young wide receiver core. I mean, they got a lot in common, at least offensively. We're not getting into the defense though, and we don't have enough time for that in this video. And then you've got, last but not least, the Seahawks at 49ers, both of them coming off of wins against division rivals, and they're looking to move up in the standings, fighting to secure a playoff berth. And then on Sunday, there's a couple of 1 o'clock games that'll look good. You've got the Redskins at Colts, RG3 versus Luck. They're from the same draft class. They could be battling each other for years to come, or this could be the last time they ever meet. We really don't know. RG3 had such an amazing rookie season, but since then... And then you've got the Saints at the Steelers, two Super Bowl winning QBs in what I hope will be a great shootout. And then the 4 o'clock games, you've got the Patriots at the Packers, arguably two of the best QBs in the league right now, arguably the best teams in East Conference, arguably the most exciting game on the schedule. And then Sunday night, you've got the Broncos at the Chiefs, and with the division still up for grabs, this could be a fun little battle to watch. And then on Monday night, you've got the Dolphins at the Jets. And the only thing I have to say about that game is... that's it for this week of NFL Weekly. Tune in next week for another all-new edition. But until then, this has been the Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lau. Have a good week.